Oh, he extorted me. Hey gang, Jeff Stone here with day 30 of the year 2016 at magicreview.com. Extortion, Patrick Kuhn. That is our video of the day. So, what's the effect? It's $30 and $29.95, excuse me. And the effect you get, it's two effects, or two possible effects. One is the one you just saw me do. And then the other one is a two-bill transpo, where you borrow a $1 bill, you provide your own $1 million bill, and then you have the spectator fold the $1 bill up like this, and then you fold your $1 million bill up like this, and then you put them together and then place the $1 million bill into his hand. And then you have the $1 bill, you shake it, changes to $1 million, and he opens his hand and it's a 1. So that's those are two effects possible. And they're as clean as they, hopefully what I just did looked pretty good. I don't know how it's going to turn out because the bills are green and I got the green screen going, so it might look funny. If it does, then you probably won't have seen that clip. You'll have seen me refilming it without the green screen, so this may be a whole moot point here. But on top of that, my gimmick is a little wonky because of the fact that I use $1 million bills. There's something that's, at least in the particular $1 million I use, there's something inherently a little bit different from actual real currency. That means when I created my gimmick, there was a little problem. Now the problem, you can actually still use $1 million bills. I just didn't realize this would be a problem until I had already made it, and it's too late to fix it. So what I did was I taped some stuff back onto the gimmick and then recut it a better way. I could have just cut it the right way in the first place, but I screwed it up basically because of the way the $1 million bill works. So you may have to experiment a little bit. And so my gimmick has some extra pieces of tape and crap on it that look a little funky that wouldn't even be on the real gimmick. And so hopefully mine still looked pretty good, but go look at the ad trailer, and that's, believe it or not, what you see in there, how clean that is, it's solid. It's that clean. So that's the effect. What's the method? The gimmicks, as I mentioned, which you are supplied. What you need to supply are some cutting implements and some cement of the rubber variety, and of course the money. And so the money is no small investment, which is why I use $1 million bills, by the way. If I had used real money with all of the fake bills I've made over the years for reviews and stuff, I'd have a real $1 million in a drawer worth of money. So I use $1 million bills. But if you're going to use real money, let's say you're going to go from a 1 to a 20. That's going to be the change. You'll need one $1 bill and two $20 bills. So $41. One of the 20s will remain intact. One of the 20s will not. And the $1 bill will not. But if you keep the extra pieces of the 1 and the 20 in a drawer somewhere, and someday you really need that cash, you can just go get those pieces out of the drawer and tape it back together, tear your gimmick apart and tape it back together. Some gimmicks I've constructed, you're cutting the crap out of the money and you're never going to be able to salvage it. But in this case, you can salvage it. So that's the cost of doing this effect, carrying it around. The other thing, if you're going to do the transpo, you're going to need another 20 if you want to do the switch at the end. And so for that effect, you can you have the gimmick in your wallet, which is $41, right? With $41 worth of money. Then you also have a regular 20, so that's $61. Plus you have the $1 bill that's going to end up in their hand, so it's $62 invested to do the trick. Because at the end, when they open their hand to look at the $1 bill, you switch your gimmick for a real 20. You know, you don't have to end that way, but why not, right? Because they're looking at their hand anyway. It's a perfect opportunity, and the switch is easy. It's a very legitimate, doable method. Or if you borrow the one, then you only need to carry $61 worth of money wrapped up in the effect. But if you use $1 million bills, then you sacrifice 3 $1 million bills and then 1 real dollar bill. So your total investment, assuming you borrow the one during performance from the spectator, your total investment is $1. That's why I go that route. But I know there's some of you folks out there that carry 100, 500 around, and you got, you know, whatever, 500, 600, 700 bucks wrapped up in that, and you can afford that. Not this guy. So, but if you can do that, great. Anyway, this can be carried around in your wallet, no problem. And it's the kind of thing where you won't accidentally spend it, because as soon as you pick it up, you'll be like, oh, that's the gimmick thing. It's very similar conceptually to the Changeling thing that I reviewed not too long ago. So maybe I'll put a link to that. I like Changeling. I carry it around in one of my show wallets, and I just haven't taken the time to make a second one to put in my regular wallet. And then this one is one that I'm considering carrying around in my regular wallet. I just would have to remake the gimmick, and I don't know if I want to do that. It took about 20 to 30 minutes. And I'd have to tear this thing apart and remake it and everything. So I may, though, because it is a good effect, a good looking effect. But again, my opinion of the effect is irrelevant to the review. So now you know effect and the method. We're going to save ad copy for last and talk about product quality. Product quality is solid. It's extremely well taught. Patrick, it's Kuhn, yeah. I always want to call him Patrick Kuhn. It's Patrick Kuhn. That's how he says it anyway. He does a good job of going in depth how to make it and how to make it with other currencies. Now, if you have the plastic money like in Australia, sorry folks, ain't gonna work. You need to be able to crease your money to be able to get a good crease in the money. If your money won't crease and hold a crease, it won't work, unfortunately. So sorry about that, guys. My viewers down under, sorry. Anywho, but any other currency that's not plastic will be just fine. So back to the DVD. It's well lit too. It's well mic'd. All that stuff's fine. It's even got a menu and everything and a play all button. Like I said, I think that Patrick Kuhn does a good job going over all the details, covering all the specifics necessary on how to make the gimmick. And it is one of those things where you can tell he didn't just release the product just because he thought he could make a quick buck on it. By the way, there's not that much money to be made in selling. I mean, unless you hit the jackpot with something like I've heard stories about Cartoon when Dan Harlan released that thing, he just sold hundreds of thousands of those things. I don't know if that number is exactly accurate, but I've heard stories about his living room being filled with inventory that he still couldn't keep up with the demand. But who knows if those stories are true. But anyway, generally speaking, I mean, you're not making a ton of money selling magic product. And what did he make? Like a couple bucks a box of those things, Anyway, what do I know? But so tangent aside about all you young folks out there rushing to put a product on the market because you think that's the cool and hip thing to do, step back and realize that it's not, there's not a lot of money to be made there. Anyway, this video, sorry, my tangent's killing me here. This video, I don't think was that kind of thing at all, because during the performance, during the video, Patrick Kuhn gives some great tips that clearly are coming from a point of experience. He's clearly done this. This is clearly in his repertoire. So that's what I really liked about this, is that he really, tipped the real work on it. So product quality, solid. Everything so far is 5 stars. It's a SansMinds product, guys. We know our history, yours, mine, and theirs together. And in the ad trailer, the video, There's a moment where he pulls a dollar bill out of his wallet. And it's clearly a normal, regular, ungimmicked. It is not this gimmick. It's a regular dollar bill. And then the next scene is him holding a dollar bill up here and doing the change. It certainly could be, you could certainly assume by watching that $1 bill was the bill he was holding when it changed, when it is not. But most companies, I would give the benefit of the doubt on that, especially in the case of this trick where there is if you're doing the transpo version, you do pull out a regular $1 bill out of your wallet. But they certainly were leading you down a garden path to make you think, whether they meant to or not, it certainly leads you down a path to make you think that $1 bill you just pulled out of your wallet is the one that changes. And that's just not the case. Which is a bummer because everything else on the ad trailer is totally legitimate. I mean, all the visual changes, all of it is super, it's totally legit. And in fact, if you watch the ad trailer, there's a link in the ad video that you can click on that takes you over to the Murphy's Magic live lecture at the table lecture of him performing it for a real person. And it's, it's funny, those Murphy's lectures, they do something that's important. These people who are releasing products just to get their name out there and they didn't really practice them. I've seen some people on the Murphy's lecture where it's live, where they kind of screw it all up because it's something they've never really done. And so I'm not going to name any names. I'm not. And I'm just going to let you discover it yourself. But the Murphy's lecture is a great way to out people that aren't actually performing stuff that they claim they're performing. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I've released stuff that I've never performed, never tested. But in the release, I told you that. In my book, 793.8, I got plenty of stuff that I've never done that I think are smart ideas that don't even fit my personality, but that somebody out there is going to take and run with. But I'm very clear up front that I never tried it. So anyway, enough of my rants today. So I'm willing to let that dollar bill slide, even though, it's not exactly like SansMinds has a history of reputable, honest ad copy. But because this is a legitimate product, and as far as I know, Patrick Kuhn is his stuff is legitimate. So I'm willing to let that slide. But then I come to the statement in the written ad copy it's just a bullet point, and it says fully examinable. Let's think about that for a minute, folks. Obviously, I'm not handing this out. Are you kidding me? There is no way in that place where all the fire is that I'm handing this out at all, ever. Duh. Unless you're like my magician buddy who's in on it. But it doesn't say hand it out. It says fully examinable. This is not fully examinable. Trust me. One of these days I'm going to give in to the temptation to, because they claim the gimmick's examinable, I'm going to examine it right here on camera. Because if it's fully examinable, you could do that to your audience and they would see it. So, no, not examinable. But most companies, I would, I would give them the benefit of the doubt in the sense that you can end clean where everything is examinable. That ending is possible. But there's a better way to word it in the ad copy that makes it clear that the gimmick itself is not examinable. But the way it's written in the ad copy, it's very easy to make the assumption that you flick, change, and then, bam, hand it out and examine it. And you cannot do that. Are you kidding me? And so, that's bad ad copy. Now, everything else in the ad copy, all the other claims are true. Although, is it on here? No, it's on the written page. One of the guys, his name's Herman, he actually works for SansMinds. He had a quote on there. He said, I was watching it on the camera, and it looked like it was edited, like it was fake. I'm like, dude, that's something you ought to keep to yourself because you guys have a reputation for doing stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of funny. But Anyway, so I don't know how to rate this, guys. I really think if you like the way that bill change looks, this is killer. I mean, it's $30, and if you don't mind investing the actual money to make the gimmick, or if you want to get the $1 million bills, I mean, you can get a whole bunch of $1 million bills for like $10. So if you don't mind that, but if you're looking for a good bill change, this is a good bill change. So I went through a bunch of scenarios of, you know, saying effect, method, and product quality are all 5 stars. But even if I gave the ad copy like 1 star or 2 stars, it still averages out to a 4-star product. You know, I mean, that's how good this is. So, and if this were any other company, I'd probably err in their favor of 4.5 stars or better. But because of the reputation and that this is an older product from them, it was before some of the, you know, tirades I went on about them being honest in their ad copy. I don't know if they've changed. I haven't reviewed any of their new stuff. So whatever, shut up, Jeff. 4 stars, final verdict, stone status of gem. If you like this effect, you'll love this product. It's very, very, very good. All right, time. Oh, you saw my cord. Now it's all exposed. It's my microphone. Time to click that button right there so you can subscribe to this channel right here. Like this video. Thumbs up. And listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which is, oh man, yeah, Lights by Journey. This is from the Infinity album. Sorry, I got to write this down, so I'm doing a bunch of videos right now. Lights by Journey. What a great song. Oh, I can't watch it right now. I can't listen to it. It's such a good song. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. Tune in tomorrow, day 31. Holy crap. The last day of January. And we will be looking at Inked by Fred Daraville, but I want to say Dar Evil. Until then, folks, as always, thanks for watching. Peace out.